going on, ESGN Nation, and welcome back to another episode here today of the Dawg Pound TV, episode number 6, as we're taking a look here at the Pro Bowl, and of course give you guys a preview of what the Super Bowl could look like for us, as we're going to be going after our first ever Super Bowl championship here in this series. Of course, in real life, I mean, the Browns have never won they've won a NFL championship before in the past, way back in the day, but an actual NFL champion, like they were the AFL back in the day, but an NFL championship they've never done, or at least haven't done in my lifetime. But they could be going to their first Super Bowl here and have a chance to win one with this amazing team here that we have here. As you see there, we're rated 91 in our offense, 88 in our defense, and overall 88 for overall team. And by far, this is one of the reasons why I picked this team. One, because they've never won a championship, and I for at least for you fans that are Browns fans, I wanted to play this series. So in fact, to do that, because I've seen people back in the past when the Browns were just really bad, because there's still some things in this team that can still be fixed on, quarterback wise, and not to mention defensively, we got some areas we can work on. I think the defensive line is awesome. I love this defensive line, and I cannot wait to build it up once we go into the second season. But for the most part here, this has just been a fun series to play, and I've been really enjoying it. I wish I could play it even longer, because but it's because of Madden. This year's Madden was another Madden that I thought I was going to really get into, but couldn't, because of the not necessarily the slider, but the gameplay was just too, I don't know, it wasn't smooth enough, and it took a long time to try to figure out this, at least the slider set I was trying to use, and then just trying to get back into Madden again. Because I missed out on 21, didn't play in 21. I didn't really finish the Madden series in 20, and I abandoned 19 like nobody's business. But this one I really felt good in, and of course Madden 23 by the time this video comes out, it's been out for a while now, and of course with the new series we'll start there. We'll continue this series in maybe a live stream format of some sort. I think I've seen this before in other videos. We could bring it back in a live stream format. And I definitely have fun with it here on YouTube, because I still want to do something with this team. I think there's some areas, I know there's going to be a lot of rebuild still, because I think we're still in a little bit of a rebuild mode in some areas. I still want to perfect our game at. Stay tuned for that. I'll have more about that later on in other videos, in update videos, stuff like that. But let's take a look here. We had a great postseason so far. This has been a great postseason. The Kansas City game was awesome. I was mentally preparing myself and kind of game planning for the game that we could have possibly against Baltimore, but Kansas City did us a favor, took out Baltimore, and went on to the next round. And of course, we probably would have seen Baltimore in the AFC Championship game, but that was not the case, because we ended up meeting the Titans there, which you guys just seen that video just a couple days ago. We were able to win that one, and of course, King Henry was a no-show. But this game was a really good game. It was a fun game. It was in the snow of all things. That's why I always looking forward to in games like sports games like this, especially in football. I wish the game used to be. I don't know if you guys remember. If you guys are, some of you guys might not be old enough yet. But I remember when they first started implementing online play and stuff like that, and you could play the game like what the local weather was for that city. So if you were, like, for instance, I'm here in the Midwest here. I live 45 minutes north of Kansas City. So if I was playing a game, whoever I was playing as, and I wanted, let's say I was playing Buffalo, and it happened to be snowing in Buffalo, you would get those effects in the game. So you would get wherever the temperature was, you know, if it was snowing, all that kind of, you would have that effect in the game, which was so cool. I think they did that also in the college football games as well. I wish they would kind of bring that back. I think it was like a AccuWeather, or no, maybe not AccuWeather. It was like more like Weather Channel, like a app within the game that happened. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool seeing that. But this was really cool in the snow. I wish the snow would be a lot more like falling, you know, not like just drizzling, but falling. But of course they do have the, you know, slipping up the effects in the game. You know, you slipping and sliding around like that, which I think is cool. And I wish they would just, they would, you know, implement more stuff like that, you know, like freezing rain or snow or like sleet, or, you know, just something else that's crazy and fun that kind of. And of course this game, you know, both games we had in here, kind of, they, you know, the weather did affect us a lot, so that was also cool as well. I mean, that really, that helps the immersion of, you know, playing a game, sports game. But yeah, both of these games were really good. Did a great job there. Of course, I wish we didn't throw so many picks in the game, but you know, it happens. It's, you know, it's what it is in Madden. If you guys are playing Madden 23 right now, there's a huge problem with picks, as I've been kind of messing around with the sliders on that. And there are some pretty good slider sets out there. If you guys know of Matt 10, he does some really good realistic slider sets that on there. I've used his slider sets in the past, and I've kind of, you know, kind of doctor my own. So if you guys want to see my slider sets, let me know down below in the comment section. I will show you guys a slider set for Madden 23. I think it's fun. I will tell you they're all pro. They're not, you can utilize them in I guess all Madden if you want to, you know, go for it, but I've been testing out on all Madden, and there's still a lot of hellify Madden cheese in all Madden. So but they're a good slider set. They're competitive, all pro set that you really gets you thinking of how to really expand yourself in your playbook and really utilize your playbook to its best of its abilities, and that's for any playbook really. Because you guys don't know, I do customized playbooks myself, mainly in my college series, but I also do it in Madden. So after, you know, I usually use season 1 as kind of a way I just kind of just play as whoever the coach is, and then once we get, you know, season 2 and beyond, I just slightly start altering the playbook some to fit the way I want to play and how I want the team to play, and how kind of like the identity of the squad. But as you take a look here, like King Henry was nowhere in sight in this game. I don't understand what it was. I looked to see if he was injured. He wasn't injured. I would to the depth chart. He was right there, number 1. I don't understand why he was not in the game, but nonetheless, a win's a win, and I'm happy to say that we got a nice victory here out of this one. I was really preparing myself. I had a nice setup, nice, you know, scheme I was going to use against their run. Their number 41, I'm not sure what his name is, but he did a great job there taking over the game for them. Unfortunately, and not to mention there was a time there when we had to play on the goal line, and we were able to stop, and we did a great job. So our hats off to our defense there, doing a fabulous job there, and holding that line, and only giving up 6 points in that ball game. And that's not like Titans, because Titans they're just smash mouth when it comes to the running game. They will go right at you, and which they did for the most part there. They did a pretty good job there. But you know, the young guy, the quarterback there, that he had a tough time. He got sacked quite a few times in the game, and we did a good job of kind of making him. That's what I was want to do. I wanted to make him throw. He had to throw quite often, but I just don't understand why King Henry wasn't there. I don't understand. He had no injuries. The only thing I can think of, and I think I said this before, and I found it online, but maybe his he wore himself out at practice, and then his ability, you know, to be on the field, his stamina was too low for him to be back on the field. That's the only thing I can think of. So that's on the computer's thing of it. I don't know. I don't understand why, but yeah, that's the only thing I can come up with, because I know that happened to me with Nick Chubb. You know, Nick Chubb was out there for maybe the first 2 first 2-3 series of the game, and then he was gone. And I could not understand why, and it was because he worked out. During the week he was on full pads, and then worked out, and then his stamina dropped too far below to where he was, where he subbed out at. And I had my subs out. I forgot where they're at, but when you get a certain point in your stamina, they sub you out, and they'll keep you out until you get that stamina back up. So, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of for Derrick Henry there. Now, as for the big game coming up for the Super Bowl, you see Tom Brady over 5,000 yards this season. Our game plan really is, as just like with Patrick Mahomes, stop the deep passing game. Stop him from throwing to his receivers. Of course, like Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, because also is great in the backfield there, catching the ball. Jones as well, but also to kind of neutralize them as well, because we want to, of course, we've got a two-front war when you're trying to stop the pass and the run. But mostly we're going to stop the passing game. So we're going to try to work on deep passing. And that's the drills the guys are going to be working on going into that Super Bowl game. And of course, if we can stop Tom Brady, he can quit. He won't get his 50 bagillion ring that he's been collecting here as of late. Almost like Thanos. Trying to snap everybody out of existence. But yeah, for the most part here, we are going to try to do our best to stop Brady. It's going to be a big task, because if you've seen me play against Brady here before, it is sweaty. It is like buckets of sweat, because he will piss you off. He will make you, he get you angry. And yeah, if you guys, that's what I said, if I ever recorded me playing these, or even live streaming these, you guys, if you've seen my live streams before on Twitch, you've seen how sweaty the games can be. Especially my UTSA series. Jeez. Some of those games are just ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, it would be uncensored. It would have to be like hella censored. That's why a lot of my videos here, especially on my second channel, you have to. I had to put a warning on there to let you know that, hey, there might be some things I say on here that do not necessarily reflect or what ESGNet stands by. So so yeah, and I just have a personal hate for Brady. So I mean, just like most people out there. But stopping OJ Howard, of course, Tanner Hudson there, who had a catch there in that game there they had against the Cowboys. I think we're looking at the stats, or no, we're looking at their season stats here. Yeah, Brady had a pretty decent game against the Cowboys there. We'll see that here in just a bit, but for the most part here, we got to stop the passing game. I know saying that you're probably laughing like, you can't stop Brady's passing game, but if we can just slow him down, force him to run the ball a little bit more. Really, especially if we can get a hold of him, if we don't get called for penalties, because that's another thing that happens to me quite often here in these games, that penalties get called on me for just breathing on Tom Brady. Yeah, I just wish I just hope we can just have a good game, apply some pressure on him, blitz him as much as we possibly can, because we got some good corners here that would love to sink their teeth into him and bring him down. So yeah, and of course I would love to get the Browns a championship ring. I know a lot of you guys probably not, some of you are enjoying the series, some of you are not. That's fine. That's it is what it is. It is not. I was not. I mean, really true. I was shocked and surprised as well as we're playing right now. Of course, a lot of the games have been sweaty. To win the game, win a lot of these games here, but I never think I'm gonna go undefeated in a Madden game whatsoever. I thought really true those two games we played against Baltimore. A lot of them, there's a couple of them I sit there thinking I literally gave up. I'm like, I'm not doing this, but then I just like, nope, I gotta finish it. I gotta finish playing it. I'm not gonna stop. I gotta, if I lose, I lose. Whatever, we'll move on. But yeah, those two Baltimore games were, those I will tell you, those two made me cry. Like I was gonna just like okay, I'm done. But we found a way to win games, and that's what I love about this team. This team is they are they're exactly what that city is. They're fighters. They're I wouldn't say dirty dogs, but they're just like dogs that will just not stop until they they fight what they want to get. And that's what I love about the culture and that team and those people that support this club. And that's what I love about this series. And and I hope I can get more out of this series coming up here, once we get into season 2 and stuff like that, because regardless of how we win or lose in this game, it's gonna be fun. I mean, storybook ending would be nice if we can win it, and we beat Tom Brady and we go undefeated and win the championship. That'd be a great storybook ending and a great way to tell the first year, and then just feel, okay, now what do we do now? Because we got a lot of guys that we need to sign. I think there's like 17 guys that we need to try to re-sign, and most of them are not coming back. I got a few of them in my head right now that we're not gonna we're not gonna keep. Not to mention, I wouldn't mind moving OBJ because he's getting up there in age, and I kind of want to move on from him and figure out who's going to be our guy. I think it's either going to be, I was going to say Higgins, but I think we might even move him. So Landry might be our new guy. He might be wide receiver number 1 going into the next season. So yeah, we got a lot of things to impact going into the second season. But of course, we can't be thinking about second season already because we haven't even finished this first one yet. So get back to what we're seeing here on the screen. Obviously, they see the first game they played against was against in the playoffs. There, the Bucs were playing. They played New Orleans. New Orleans, of course, have a nice running game there for them. Jameis Winston had a tough time there in that game. He got roughed up pretty good. But Chris Goodwin, over 100 yards, over 150 yards actually, 8 catches, 2 touchdowns, 156 yards in that game. As well as Antonio Brown, who is a guy that he's been around the league for a long time. He's been with several teams. Of course, he's had some attitude issues. And he's with the Bucs here in this at least in this series. Of course, Mike Evans looking for another chance to get another ring. And this is gonna be those are good receivers. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna have a tough time if we can try to slow them down some way. Because you got 3 of those guys. I think all 3 of them. I think if not all 3, 2 of those guys, 2 of the 3 guys are 1,000-yard receivers this year. So they're not gonna they're gonna get as many touches as they can possibly get. And for us to go in here, I feel confident our defense can do it. Can go in there and put a lick on these guys and stick them when they get the ball in their area, because Del Pitt and Ward, along with Harrison and a couple others there, just in that secondary there, oh my god, just putting guys and just destroying teams, just getting catches, making plays. And it's been nice. Our linebackers, of course, Taki, also our Kamore, just been great with they're patrolling the midfield there and just doing what they can do. And of course, defensive lines just been animals, just ripping apart offensive lines and getting a hold of quarterbacks there. And if we can we can get a couple of touches on Brady. Give him a couple of love taps. I think we could. This could be a winnable game. I think this game is going to be more defensive because both teams got excellent defenses. I think we're both in the top 10. Last time I checked the stats. So they got a lot of potential of this being a very close game. It may be. I want close games. I always say anytime I play a game, I want the games to be close. But this game might be just a little too close, and I'm really hoping that things will really. It's going to come down to whoever has possession. Of course, if you have too much time on the clock, Tom Brady will take advantage of that and will we'll make you pay. So we like I said, our running game is gonna have to be it's gonna have to be huge. We cannot get too pass happy with Mayfield. We have to utilize, just stay within, just like I tell my nephew, stay in your lane. Just stay where we're at, what we know and what we do best, and that's what's gonna help us win the game. So running the ball as much as we can. Especially in the passing game, we have to get Mr. Hunt involved. He's got to be able to make some catches here. If you guys remember several episodes ago, right before the season ended, right before the regular season ended, actually, I can't remember which game. I think it was during the Baltimore games, and then there was one or two games after that he was horrible at catching. We have to have him be good at catching. We have to have that. We cannot be. He cannot be, we need those screen passes. We need him to get those nice slant passes coming out of the backfield. We need him involved in those passes up the middle and all that, those quick passes and stuff like that up the middle, and just make plays there for us to help us out. If we can't get to Hooper, we can't get to Landry, we can't get to OBJ or Higgins, or even People Jones, which he's been doing a great job. That's another poor guy where I'm really looking forward to for season 2. But if we can't get to those other guys, he has to be that next guy that we know. I know he's like, okay, he's open. Let's get it to him. Let's go. Because with his catch, he has decent catch. So if he gets a decent catch and of course that just remarkable speed, he is definitely going to be something there that can help us out, because I don't want the Buccaneers to see us one-dimensional. I want them to realize that we have multiple threats, and I think they know this. We have multiple threats, and anywhere in the passing game and anywhere in the running game. So we can come at you at any different direction with any one of our, any one of the 3 backs we have, and of course our fullback as well. And then any of our wide receivers and tight ends. So I just want to I'm hoping that's something that they have on their bulletin board, that we're a threat at any angle. But yeah, and the same thing goes with the Bucks. You got Mike Evans, you got Gronk, who's still with, he's there with them. There you see Donald Jones, the second, Antonio Brown. So any of those guys could be a problem for us. On the field, and we gotta find ways to neutralize them, just slow them down. So we can just put a good hit on, take out old man Gronk and Antonio. Excuse me. That'd be great. Mike Evans as well. He's kind of the flagship bearer there. He's the guy for the wide receivers. Yeah, he's wide receiver number 1. So again, watching him, he's a little slippery for me a lot of times when I have to play against them. He gets on me. Defensively wise, David, of course, Sue, and David's the third there. Those are great defensive guys. That defense, oh my god, that linebackers they got there, it's just, oh geez. CBs as well. I mean, they got some good CBs. Winfield's another great player there, but I think Winfield is out because I think he has an injury. But the line, JPP, all those guys there, they're just gonna be everywhere on us and there, and that's what I'm afraid of with the passing, because we like to pass up the middle. There, because vertically we have troubles. We have this, obviously we have the talent to go vertical, but we, running, wide catching wise, but passing wise, it may feel a little sus at times. So yeah, like I said, we gotta we're gonna find out ways to win. Changing routes, moving guys around, just trying to confuse that defense as much as we can, and just try to get our guys open, give them space, and if we can give them space, we get those opportunities to get down the field and be able to make some big plays. And like I said, we're not gonna worry about that too much, making big plays, because we're gonna try to throw the. All right, for the most part, I think here we're gonna have to stick with the short and medium game when it comes to passing. So I think Hooper is going to be very important for us in that aspect of it. You see Winfield, I'm just going to say he's out for 4 weeks there, that dislocated knee. So that's at least that free safety, that the deep issue, we don't have to worry about that too much. But yeah, the short and mid passing game is going to be very important for us. We're not a deep passer, so. But the running game is going to be important. Also, too, the blitz, just the blitzing from Tampa Bay, it could be a problem for us. So we have to be able to read blitzes and notice those blitzes when they happen, because they will blitz us a lot. Of course, also we got to make sure the offensive line. Because I do want to have, if we have to make big plays, especially, if we see our wide receiver open, we got to be able to have move the pocket for Mayfield. So we got to be able to protect Mayfield. So the offensive line has to be really, really prepared this week to move that pocket around, protect him, do what they did in that game against the Titans. That was they did a great job there of holding that pocket there. And just giving that confidence to Mayfield, which you see there, he makes some big tosses down the field. So some of them were a little like don't do that, but other ones were like, wow, like that's good. He is firmly planted, looked confident, throwing the ball down the field, and did what he did, and made some great passes, and just. He had 5 touchdowns in that game, which was great. So we're hoping to see that kind of same performance from the offensive line. And again, another key to trying to win this ball game against this Tampa Bay squad. So a lot to look at, a lot to analyze. But like I said, for the most part here, it should be a fun game. I cannot wait. And like I said, if we can go up on them quickly, if we can get some turnovers, early on in this game and turn those turnovers to points, child, this is gonna be a long day for Mr. Brady. But the same thing can be said on the other side, because if we don't stick with our game plan, and it could be a very long day for us. So. But we'll see how things go. Like I said, I don't see this game getting out of hand too much. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna come down to whoever has possession last, and not to mention whoever can make a good play into the half and scoring. So I think that's the keys of the game there. So let me know what you guys think down below. What are some strategies I should use about the Bucs going into this game? Like I said, there's a lot on the line here. Of course, our undefeated streak on the line, but most importantly, trying to win a championship for the first time for Cleveland, and get them, get that monkey off their back here, at least in the virtual world, in Madden. But we'll see what happens coming up in that game. That game should be coming up here very quickly, actually, here in the next day or so. So for the most part. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Dawg Pound TV, and of course, get ready for the next episode of the Cleveland Browns franchise as we take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we'll see who's going to win Super Bowl 56. That's it for this episode. As always, if you guys enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to be new. Hit that bell notification as well to be notified of when this series or any other series here on the channel is uploaded onto the channel. Thank you guys for the new subs that we've gotten. We're continuing growing. I love it. And don't forget to follow us also on our social media down below, Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. And as well also on Twitch, as we do live stream over there on the weekends for the most part there. And the schedule is down below in the description as well, to the link to the channel. But that's it for me. As always, keep each other healthy, and I will see you all next time.